And welcome to the 28th episode of the new podcast. My name is Steven, joined as always by producer extraordinaire Kelly. Let's get to it. Hope you enjoyed the show last week, the commentary show. I had a ton of fun doing it. Obviously, having 4 full round fights and then a finish, that was obviously a lot of content to fill in. But man, I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it a lot. I was beaming afterwards. I thought, oh man, it was so much fun. And maybe I had one too many waters. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing that for a professional gig, But for having fun, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I had you with me, Kelly, to help me out with it, man. We had a great time doing it down at the St. Martin pub.
Good times.
Yeah, it was fun. Good times had by all. Let's get to some MMA news. I think the biggest news for a belt coming through this week is going to have to be Cejudo versus Moraes for 135-pound belt. Thought it was a weird matchup. I think it's going to be happening in September. I don't think they've named the exact event, but to have that one going down, a lot of people are pissed off because, this really ties up 125 and 135, and I think there was a few other dudes at 135 that thought they deserved a shot more than Cejudo to leapfrog the whole crew, but leapfrog he may because he just defeated their champ. So I think it's only fair that he does get that title shot in a reverse way. It doesn't really bother me because I could really give two shits about 125 anyways. Even 135 for that matter. I don't mind 135, but if they said 135 division was no more, I would be like, okay.
Seems like the top 5 guys are always fighting each other anyways, you know what I mean? And those are the guys that really people focus on anyways. I don't think people know anybody past the top 10 in that division. Like, do you really know anybody's name?
No, great call. Yeah, no, great point. Only so many people that Joseph Benavides can fight. And Chad Mendes, know. You know what I mean? And it's a tough division to be in. But I think 135 has a bit of an edge. You see a bit more knockouts at 135 than you do 125. But odd move. Who do you think? I gotta ask you though, Kelly. Who do you think takes that match?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Cejudo, man.
Wow.
I think he doesn't even have to weight cut. He's just gonna be fresher. I don't know, man. He's gonna be big at that weight. I think, even though he's short, he's gonna be, he's gonna be a big guy. And who is that guy who used to take people down and hold the submission for way too long?
Was that Sean Shirk?
No.
At 135?
No. It was a heavier weight class. He got kicked out of UFC for holding.
Oh, yeah. Rosamar Palhares.
Yes, Palhares.
Yeah,
he was a really short, but he was a thick guy.
Yeah, that's
and he
true.
Could just
yeah,
mess you up. I think that's what Cejudo's gonna be like.
Yeah, I could see that. It is Palhares' nickname is the Stump, it's because he is so short. You know what I mean? But I hear what you're saying. I gotta go Marlon Moraes. I gotta go the Magic Man on this one here, just because even though Cejudo's ground game is probably going to be better, I think he's gonna have to watch out. Moraes has just been knocking dudes out cold. I don't know if Cejudo can handle his power. We will find out when that match goes down. It's a toss up, really. I would love to see what the betting odds would be for that one, but I think obviously we saw Cejudo's power knocking out Dillashaw, but Marlon Moraes is a lot bigger. I want to see the size up too, the face to the face size up. I want to see how much that is different, because I think when you go up to 135, maybe that does play a little bit of a factor. But total coin toss. I'm going with Moraes though. Kelly going with Cejudo. That goes down in the summertime. Cannot wait. The other big news being announced, lots and lots of fight announcements this week. Hot tamales. But it will be John Bones Jones taking on Thiago Marreta Santos, UFC 239 for the 205-pound belt. Hot tamales, I love this matchup.
That's a great fight, but I'd rather see him fight Stipe.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. That I was gonna touch base exactly. You hit the nail on the head. I was gonna touch because that was the big rumor going around. Obviously, I would love to have seen that too. I think that would have been an awesome fight. For either weight, either light heavyweight or heavyweight. I don't know if Stipe can make that cut, but either way, to see them both at heavyweight, that would have been an awesome fight. But I like him going up against Santos for 205 belt. It's a deserved placement for a dude who had he even beat Anthony Smith, but here's Anthony Smith is getting the title shot and not him. Deservedly so. I think he's gonna have a hard time because the one thing about Santos is he doesn't have the best chin, and I think John Jones is a guy who is going to test that chin with kicks, nasty elbows, and punches, obviously as well. So, but if anyone's got a gas tank and the heart, it's Santos. I love him, but I just don't. And I hope he wins, but I don't see him doing it. I'm gonna put money on him because I bet she's gonna be a pretty big underdog. What do you think? Takes that one, Kelly.
Oh, I think Johnny Jones Bones. Yeah, take that one. I think he will land at some point. And,
yeah,
I just don't know, man.
No, I agree. I just haven't seen enough out of Santos. Like I have seen maybe too much, and the on the adverse effect on the flip of the coin. I think I've seen too much of him, and I know that his chin isn't great, and his ground game isn't the best either. That's the thing too. Maybe John Jones can control him up against the fence, but I think Santos is going to come up with a good game plan to keep it dirty. And if he lands one or two shots, that's the thing about Thiago Santos. You can't let him tag you a few times. That's going to really wobble you. But I want to see how they size up too. I want to see how they size up because I think it's going to be actually quite even because Thiago Santos is a pretty big dude.
One guy that's actually been able to keep a good offense against John Jones Bones was DC. I haven't really seen a lot of people just go at Johnny Jones Bones like him. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can actually be the aggressor in the competition.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. With especially Thiago Santos, he's going to have to be on the defense probably the whole match because I think John Jones is going to kind of come at him, kind of like he did a little bit with Gustafsson, where he realized if I put my power on people and really push the pace, I can win this match quite easily.
As soon as he can oppose his will,
exactly.
Get done. That's why I think he has to be on the aggressive, like the offense. I think he has to, land twice as many kicks, land twice as many strikes, or he's gonna be put down pretty early. I think.
Exactly. No, I totally agree, man. I totally agree. Going down UFC 239, July 6th. Where is this one at here? T-Mobile Arena. In Las Vegas. Going back to Las Vegas. They still got to do the Las Vegas shows, obviously. The place where they're the most popular and what got their name. UFC 239 goes down. There's a ton of other ones on that card, too. Holmes versus Nunez, too. Holly Holmes will take on Amanda Nunez for the belt as well. That should be an awesome fight.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
I think everyone wanted to see that fight, and that's the kind of the fight. Hats off to Amanda Nunez because she could have done she could have taken the easy way out. She could have, just kind of, waffled through the division and done, whatever the UFC had given to her. But she said, no, I want Holly Holm. That's I'm not going to retire. I'm not going to leave. I want Holly Holm. And what a bold move to do, to want to fight the strongest. One of the strongest girls in the division, in all of UFC, really, in all the women's division, and good for Amanda Nunez for wanting to do that. Such a tough fighter, and go down in history as obviously is documented on the show as one of the best female MMA fighters of all time.
Yeah, she wants Ronda, Tate, Cyborg,
exactly,
and Holly Holm on her resume.
Whew, what a resume! And the other fight that was announced for that one, I think, we talked about that last time, was the Rockhold versus Blachowicz. We talked about that on the last show. So it's already shaping up to be one hell of a super stacked card already. I'm sure they're going to probably put more fights onto that one soon too. Can't wait. Another big one. I wasn't too excited about this one, but it kind of makes sense for both these guys. It will be Robbie Lawler. He will be taking on Tyron Woodley too. So their rematch finally we get to see. The quick knockout by T Wood on Robbie Lawler last time, and here Robbie Lawler gets his redemption match. Coming off his loss to Askren, and so it's kind of a weird matchup, but I kind of do like it for both these guys. Who do you think takes that one, Kelly? Kind of a tough, kind of a toss-up on that one.
Yeah, man, I have no idea. I'm just gonna go with Tyron Woodley. I just don't know how many more like really bad fights Robbie Lawler can take, where he's just taking a lot of damage. He's fought quite a few 5-round fights.
Most people who knew about MMA back in the day, they're like, Robbie Lawler's still fighting?
Yeah. It's battles, wars with other fighters. And I just don't know how much more you can take. And
I agree, yeah. No, I agree, exactly. How much wear and tear, because it always catches up to you eventually, is that when the chin is gone, that's totally it. And could that be the time for Robbie Lawler? He's only 37 still, but still, he's there's a lot of fight years.
And I don't think Robbie feels like he lost his last fight, where Tyron Woodley obviously has. So I think Tyron's going to be training twice as hard. And not necessarily if that's a good thing, don't hurt yourself, don't overdo it. But I think he's going to be, pretty focused on his fight and getting that W now.
Oh, big time. Big time. Let's break it down here. Robbie Lawler, 6 degrees of separation. Robbie Ruthless Lawler. 28-13. When I wanted to look it up because I wanted to see when their first fight. Yeah, their first fight was 2 years ago, 2016. It'll be crazy. Almost to the day, 2 years. They'll be having their rematch. It's kind of crazy. Because I think it's just because Tyron Woodley had his 2 matches against Wonder Boy, and what I mean. So it's kind of weird that they didn't fight sooner. But title is not in the picture for Robbie Lawler anytime soon. Carlos Condit he beat by split. The crazy war with Rory McDonald, the split over Johnny Hendricks, Matt Brown, Ellenberger. He lost. He lost that close decision to Johnny Hendricks too. I believe it was for the belt. He actually lost to Lorenz Larkin. I remember him kind of when he was kind of in Strikeforce. I remember him kind of actually floundering around a little bit. And when he got brought over to the UFC, I thought, okay, this is kind of nice of him to do this and kind of have his retirement party at the UFC. And here he starts beating everyone up. So I thought that was really cool, because he didn't really have a great Strikeforce career. He kind of went to 180, 185, and 170. Like losing to Lorenz Larkin, Tim Kennedy. I obviously lost to Jack Ray. Obviously, he was fighting tough dudes. Oh, he actually lost to Babalu. Wow, that's crazy. Forgot about that one. I remember his loss to Jake Shields too. That was at 185. I remember that one very well. Well, there's his war against Melvin Manhoef. That was an awesome fight. That was a really, really cool fight where he was kind of knock-a-loopy and then knocked him out. One fight though that always sticks out for me was his fight in Icon Sports against Nico Vitale. And I thought that's one that really stuck out for me. He fought there how many times? Two times there. Icon. That was the island organization, like the Hawaiian Island organization. I thought that was always a cool one. They really showed a lot of it. Did not click on that. Oh shit! But Robbie Lawler. Let's see when his first professional fight was in 2001. For fuck's sakes! Like holy shit! And he even fought IFC. Wow, that is crazy. First UFC fight was in 2002. Got knocked out by Nick Diaz. And he got choked out by Evan Tanner, too. Huh. And then kind of went over to Hawaii. Pretty cool little type of a career that Robbie Lawler has. It's really, really cool, man. Guy's been all over the place. Love him, Robbie Lawler.
It'd be like if Tito was still relevant.
Yeah. Exactly. exactly. That's hilarious. Yeah, I wonder what the difference was. You know what I mean? Both kind of started at the same time. Robbie,
Just a bigger guy.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, good point. That was stupid by me.
No,
Absolutely. I gotta go Robbie Lawler though. I'm going Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
I still think Tyrone might pull it out.
Another big matchup that was announced, but it's not on. I don't think it's on 239. Is Junior Dos Santos has his next opponent, and it is Francis the Predator Ngannou.
Oh shit!
That's going to be a huge fight. And it's definitely a 100% number one title contendership match. Winner of that fight will fight for the belt. Yeah, probably at a year-end show. That's what I was talking about earlier. It's kind of all these fights now are really going to lead up to that year-end show and who's going to be on it. People are going to have to make some big wins right now and really, really flash the leather and put on a good show if they want to get on that year-end show and really make some money in this organization.
Do you think Junior will be as aggressive as he has been in his last few fights against a huge opponent like him?
I think he will. I think he'll implement just the same strategy, just to counter and pick holes in their boxing game. I think his boxing game is so strong right now. I think he's just going to counter and pick holes in their boxing game and kind of wait his time. But I think he will push a little bit harder because obviously he doesn't want to get hit by Ngannou. Nobody does. So I think he's going to have to push the pace a little bit for that reason alone, if he wants to survive, because he can't get his chin checked by that guy. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, you can't stand back and wait.
Exactly. You don't want to catch one by accident. That's the thing about Ngannou. You don't want to catch one by accident. But I think he's got the tools to be able to put him away.
And he's so quick too. Like when he was fighting, Alistair Overeem.
Yeah.
You know, they threw a punch at the same time, and he just landed before.
Yeah.
Knocked him right out.
Who do you think takes this one? I think out of this matchup.
Man, such a tough one, especially with the heavyweights.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go with Junior just because he has more experience and he's just been in there longer.
Nice. Yeah. I gotta go Junior too. I gotta go Junior Dos Santos all the way on that one. Exactly that. The experience and Ngannou has showed us that he has a huge gap in his game with his gas tank and maybe his mental toughness. I think a little bit too. Which we have seen. He's obviously on a bounce back right now, but I just don't. When you have that one question mark, that's what else am I going to talk about, really, right? I don't know. I have it written down as 239, but I don't think it's UFC 239. I think it's going to be another card because it's not listed on the actual fight card right now. So I could be mistaken. Maybe must be.
Was it a new announcement?
Yeah, it was. It was like maybe it hasn't been updated. Yeah, it was. I think it was just actually yesterday or the day before.
Usually they're pretty good about those things.
Yeah, exactly. But I digress. The one fight announcement that I was the most pissed off about this week: Jorge Gamebred Masvidal versus Ben Funky Askren. I was like, you sons of bitches. You're going to feed Masvidal to Ben Askren? Like, that's a layup. They're giving Askren another non-grappler. Gamebred's got some moves. Like, he's no slouch on the ground. But you're going to put like a Division I wrestler against a guy who's just like another stand-up striker, like a brawler striker. Very similar fighting style to Robbie Lawler. But I was not pleased with that matchup. They gave Masvidal a huge win. He was, everyone had him counted out. And now you're going to give him another super, super tough test. I think you need somebody else before he can get this match. Because they're basically saying this is going to be the number one contendership match too. Now, I think the best thing for the UFC was for Tyron Woodley to lose the belt because he had just openly said, I will never fight Ben Askren because we're best friends. You know what I mean? So with him losing the belt, now Ben Askren can move up and challenge for the belt to have that Bellator champ, the ONE FC champ, the undefeated guy.
On the bright side, he does have that experience against Damian Maya, where somebody just trying to grab you and take you down, submit you type of deal.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I think did he lose that one
He
though?
did lose
Yeah, he
by
did
decision,
lose. Yeah, yeah.
a split decision. So
Wow.
I wonder who's better, Damian Maya or damn it,
Ben Askren.
yes.
Oh, I see you're saying at grappling. Oh, okay, good call. Yeah, I think maybe I'd have to give the edge to Maya on the grappling when it comes to that, but Ben Askren's at wrestling grappling, so it's two different styles. But I hear you're saying I think Maya would be the better grappler though. That's a good call actually, Kelly.
Those guys against each
Yeah.
other.
No, that's a good. Yeah, that is a good call. See, that's what I'm saying. Both these guys, I think, deserve another fighter and then the runner up. The matchmaker ain't doing it right. Give me a call, Dana. I'll hook you guys up. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what we saw at the match last night. I thought Barboza versus Gaethje was a terrible matchup for both those guys. It was a good fight. But I just think career-wise, I think that's what the UFC's got to be looking out is for the future of these dudes. And I think Jorge and Ben Askren should have both had two different fighters in the top 5, and then those two guys battle it out for the number 1 contendership. You just can't have it. Oh, you want to win a fight? Oh, you get a championship match. You want to fight? You get a championship match. Because Jorge, he just that was his first win at 175 or 170, and he was first. He had 2 losses before that. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. I love Jorge Masvidal, but I don't think he should be in a title contendership match right now. I'm going to give it to him just because of his punching power, and he knocked out Darren Till with that. One of the toughest dudes at 170. I gave him no chance, so I'm going to give him a chance on this one too, just because I like him so much. But I think on paper, I think he'd be another underdog, another bet. You got another horse for the race on that one, folks.
I'd bet on that one.
Yeah, I'd bet on that one too, because he's going to be an underdog, and I'd give him a chance for sure.
Yeah.
Another big announcement this week. Uriah Faber has been rumored to be coming out of retirement. He says he's finally healthy. He says the layoff was the best thing for him. He's got a family he started. I think he's financially super set up, and I think he's just bored. You know what I mean? I think he's just been training a bunch, but that's what he think. That's the thing. He has been training a bunch. He's back more involved in Alpha Male, and they had actually offered him. The UFC had actually offered him fights in the past. One when he had already retired. One was Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Jung. I think that would have been a good fight. And the other one was Cub Swanson, probably like a California card or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that, Southern California versus Northern California. It goes down in LA. That would be a good matchup. I think people would love that, especially California, so popular in there. It's just one of those cool things. I'm gonna touch base a little bit on that more on the show.
He's one of those guys that even when he lost, he still put up a great fight. So you still wanted to watch the fight, right? Unlike BJ Penn, where it's kind of sad now. Yeah. It's like, man, just hang it up, right?
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Where Uriah, he really he wasn't doing great, exactly, but he wasn't getting like totally owned. Exactly. He's always been a super super tough dude. Shredded little guy, yeah. But I've always enjoyed Uriah Faber's fights too, and I think Uriah Faber brings asses in seats. Actually, I think he really does, and I think that's just that West Coast thing. He's a super nice guy too, super California guy. Has nothing to dislike about him. I mean, he's a tough guy too. But I'm excited to see that. But he has not had a fighter announcement. He's kind of just saying now, okay, I'll take fights if you throw them my way now, type thing. So let's see who he fights coming down here. One thing that somebody mentioned to me, I can't take credit for this, but have him fight Dominic Cruz again. I think I would like to see that. I think that'd be a good fight for both their careers right now. Kind of maybe give, even though
is Dominic ever coming back?
Who knows? It's
like hypothetical.
Exactly. Even if the fight was announced, it has a good chance it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So I could see that happening. I don't know. But I thought that was like, oh, that's actually not a bad matchup. But I would like Korean Zombie too. I think Korean Zombie would also be, that's an easy layup as a really, really good match for that too. Maybe TJ. TJ, that'd be kind of cool too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that actually would make sense too. TJ just getting knocked the fuck out, and then he's gonna be out for a year because of his failed drug test. You know, just a comeback fight. If he's gonna fight Uriah Faber, if you gave Uriah Faber a fight that he's probably gonna win, but it's still exciting. If he wins that, maybe he fights TJ when he comes back.
I like that idea. So you're saying he has to win one and then fight TJ?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that a lot.
Then at least he has a little momentum behind him. And they can retell the story of the snake in the grass.
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
I think TJ will probably win that fight, though.
Yeah, I think so too. If he loses to Uriah Faber at that time, but I think it just works out because there's one gym versus the other gym too. You know what I mean? The actual representative of alpha male. You know what I mean, against the guy who was, and then you know what I mean. So it writes itself. Yeah. I totally agree. That's a great matchup. He actually won his last fight against Brad. It was against Brad Pickett. Oh, it was in Sacramento too. So they kind of gave him one hell of a retirement fight. It's total striker and Brad Pickett. We lost Jimmy Rivera, Dominic Cruz, beat Frankie Saenz, lost to Frankie Edgar. All these are just decisions too. He never gets finished. When was the last time he got finished by Barao, Renan Barao, TKO, first round, and that was back in 2014. So you know what, guy's a tough dude, man. I remember I think it was Matt Brown. Or Mike Brown, yeah, that was his other rivalry, Mike Brown. Yeah, where he had couldn't beat Mike Brown too. That was another dude that was like kryptonite to him. Same with Aldo, obviously. Dominic Cruz, what a tough guy. But you know what I mean. He just couldn't get it done sometimes. He was the champ. I remember he had hard times with his hands. Mm-hmm. He'd always break his hands in a fight, all the time. But I'm excited to see him come back, and the possibilities are endless here. He didn't have a terrible career, once again, another dude. When did he first start? Probably 2003 is when he first started. First loss was to Tyson Griffin. 2005. He was 8-1 at that time. That was a good career. Uriah Faber. I guess since we have to talk about Conor McGregor, I guess. Because the son of a bitch is all over goddamn everything. Obviously, it was retirement, crybaby, bitch ass, potato eating, piece of shit. Conor McGregor retiring from MMA as obviously the biggest chip to use in his in getting money from the UFC is saying he's retiring. But if he's making money from this other stuff, like his whiskey, like other investments, maybe he just does retire and say fuck it. Or fuck it. But still, I think what I was thinking of is the all of Conor's money is really going to be put to the test with all these court cases. Because if he thinks that shit's going to be cheap, I think he's got another thing coming, and I think that's really going to put him to the test. Really, how much money the dude has, as well all these court cases, because it's going to add up really soon. And the guy's a total moron, so I don't know how he is saving money. So oh shit! But what do you take of it, Kelly? You think he retires? You think he fights?
I think he's gonna try to go to boxing. He's been posting boxing images on his Instagram. I don't know. Like he has a contract with the UFC, obviously, but I don't know what it would cost to get out of it. He probably has enough money to pay his way out. So I think he probably just goes to boxing. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. All these things are adding up for him. You know what I mean? His bank account's got to be taking a hit here.
I mean, after fighting Khabib, I'd probably want to go to boxing too. He's like, what the fuck am I gonna do about this?
I think that's what he's got to do, because he you know what I mean, for a guy that his his mouth finally caught up to him, I think, with Khabib.
Yeah.
Because he was a guy who ducked more fighters than a phone with bad autocorrect. Man, am I right?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
I think that's the reason GSP retired again too. It's like Connor's never gonna fight me after fighting Khabib.
Yeah.
There's no money in it anymore.
Exactly. Especially Khabib's going to be a kind of a not a terrible fight. He'll be going to work, but it's not like going to be like that terrible fight. But
otherwise, you got Usman. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants to fight that guy. Well, I'm sure there is people who are crazy enough to want to fight him, but
One of the toughest dudes on the planet, that's for damn sure. Yeah, I think he comes back. I think he comes back.
yeah.
I think he fights somebody. I think they put him in his place.
How many millions do you think they'd have to give him?
I think they're going to give him like 15 million for his next fight.
Do you think they could afford like 50% pay-per-view buys?
Hell no. They wouldn't do it. I don't think they would do it. Just, I mean, they would give him I think a good chunk, but I don't think that much.
Yeah.
That's crazy talk. But hey, stranger things have happened with Conor McGregor. Who knew he was going to throw a fucking dolly at a van? No one's seen that coming.
And that video has ads on it, and he's getting paid through that too. Just kidding. I have no idea.
Kelly, you're hilarious. Oh, shit. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. It's too much at stake. He may go away for a little while. I could see him taking another year off. I could see that. Maybe coming back in December, but I don't see him walking away from MMA altogether. We will find out. Huge news. I think that I gotta closing the fucking segment out with some of the biggest news coming through this week of the world of MMA and wrestling is that Cain Velasquez has signed with AAA Wrestling to be at Triple Mania in August. And out of the press conference, my man Pentagon Jr. steps up and calls Cain out in a super power move. I love it. Pentagon Jr. is one of my favorite wrestlers right now, of all time right now. The guy is so cool. But for him to call out Cain Velasquez, what a power move for both those guys.
It's going down.
It's going down. I can't wait. Triple Mania is worth watching now. That's huge news for the world of sports. Really, it was all over. I couldn't believe Pentagon Jr. broke it first too. Whoever his publicist is a genius, because that guy before anybody had announced that, Pentagon Jr. had announced that. And I thought that was cool as shit. That's what social media is about. Getting that breaking news right away.
How much you want to bet that he runs out with his knees wrapped up, his ankles wrapped up, his elbows wrapped up,
his shoulders wrapped up? Well, what the wrestlers always wear is that kinesiologist tape. You know what I mean? That kinetic tape, or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, he's gonna have so much.
He's just gonna be covered in it.
He's gonna look like the end of a hockey stick.
just his feet and his head aren't taped up. He just like roll with his arms taped in too. All right. Someone hold the microphone for me. Oh shit.
This move is the torpedo.
He just dives at you. And that's it, because he can't get up afterwards. So you gotta make it count. I'm afraid he doesn't fall over during the match.
Nice.
That's hilarious. You're too funny, man. I like it though. I'm gonna watch Triple Mania now too. I'm sure even you're gonna tune in, Kelly, just to kind of see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what it's always about. That's how Brock Lesnar is so popular in MMA, is because all the wrestling fans love him so much and they watch over. So maybe Cain Velasquez will actually have the reverse effect. He'll have his MMA fans check it out because it's wrestling. And they're like, oh, actually, this is a pretty good product. Actually,
there's another guy that UFC has a hard time booking, Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who has a huge draw, they just can't seem to afford, even though they paid billions of dollars for this company.
That's Brock Lesnar to a T. That's how crazy Brock Lesnar is, man. He does the same thing in WWE. He never shows up. He's the champion. And he never shows up. The champion of the company isn't, but that's how he's like, if I'm coming back, I want to be champion. I only want to do this many dates, and I want this much money. And they say, okay, here you go. Can we give you more money?
Someone should just start a league with all these YouTube stars. All these people watch it just because they have like a following.
Huh. YouTube wrestling, like people or wrestlers on YouTube?
I just like to take the top guys off YouTube and just make them wrestlers. Like that one guy, what's his name, was boxing. He was like in a boxing match.
I see where you're coming from with this idea, Kelly. I think you may be overstepping on this one, but I hear where you're coming from. I think logistically it'd be a nightmare.
Like celebrity death match, but for real.
But wrestling.
Yeah,
because wrestling's real.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Wrestling's usually to the death, is it not?
Exactly. You don't have a really good turnaround. Constantly looking for talent. Emotionally, it's to the death. Oh, shit. One thing I gotta really talk about, gotta really get this off my chest this week. Went to Arby's this week. My, oh my. Good golly, Miss Molly. Arby's, have I ever missed you? But there's a problem.
No.
The Philly beef and Swiss is off the fucking menu.
What?
My favorite sandwich, the only sandwich I ever got. Honestly, I've been to Arby's hundreds of times. I've eaten other stuff with my Philly beef and Swiss, but I always get a Philly beef and Swiss. Don't have it anymore. I had to settle for Swiss, fucking no Jew. It was good. It was still good, but still, they totally changed the restaurant. I like it. I'll go back. I'll go back. I was pretty upset. I was very upset. I'm standing there at the counter like an idiot because I don't know. I'm like, I really don't know what to order then. But I would say it was an easy pick. It's all roast beef, but still, curly fries cannot go wrong. Arby's all the way down to Wasson, so it was a trek. It was a trek and a half. Check it out though. It's totally different now. And what was funny too, Kelly, is they have like a bell, like a bell on a rope.
Yeah.
Like a big one you like ring when you leave. You know what I mean? And then all the workers, all the staff, they say, "Oh, thank you." And so you leave. So I thought that was, my kids loved it, obviously, but I thought it was kind of funny. Still good food. It was kind of more like a Carl's Jr. They kind of made it more like a clean atmosphere. I think that's what kind of was different about the sandwich too. Was too high of a quality for my liking. Honestly. I want the old Arby's. I want that super greasy Arby's. That's what I wanted. But it was actually really good food actually this time.
Where's my garbage burger?
Exactly.
You took it off the menu.
God dang it! They got rid of the Philly beef and Swiss, son of a bitch. What am I gonna eat now? You can't take away my guns, but
How am I gonna feed my children?
You sure as hell can't take away my Philly beef and Swiss. I tell you what. Oh shit. Fuck. All right, doing pretty good on this shit here. Let's take a quick little breather here and get right back to you here after these short messages. Water. The thing with a million uses, except for one. Do not mix your water with cereal. That's psychotic. That's gross. Yeah,
It is gross.
Nah. I'd rather eat it dry.
True that. Just put it in like a Ziploc.
Mm-hmm,
Munch
exactly.
on it. Thinking of doing something while drunk this summer? Float down the river while drunk, but drink responsibly and enjoy your water responsibly.
All while riding on water.
Yes.
Drinking waters while riding on waters.
I heard you like water, so we put water in your water.
With new and improved flavor. Nothing.
Wow, this tastes like nothing! Thanks, water!
Smooth, delicious, nothing. Try it today. And welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed the messages. And go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water on the house. Rounding out this week, one game I've haven't really talked about on the show, but I've kind of fallen in love with it again. It's coming in such a limbo of video games right now. I don't know what's up or down. Really lost, folks. But I've been playing Ark. Have you ever played that game, Kelly? You seen a little bit of it?
I played a little bit, but it's so confusing. I just quit. I was like, there's too many options. There's too many things to do. I don't know. I give up.
That is true. That is true, especially right off the bat, because that's the hardest part about it. They don't tell you anything.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do jack shit all right off the bat. There's nothing to teach you how to do fucking anything. You don't even know how to take a shit.
Yeah, man. I felt like a baby trying to use his hands again. Just fucking kept jabbing myself in the eyeball. You know what I mean?
The thing that happened for me when I first got the game, because it was in the preview mode, and for the longest time, because there were so many people playing it, because it was just brand new out, I had to start playing on a different server, because every time I'd come on, there'd be so much new people, they'd just hack me to death. It'd be like groups of 2 or 3 dudes, just with spears and like the stone axes, and they would just hack me to death. Every time, so I had to switch. Okay, this doesn't work. So I had to switch servers, and to a PvE server, and I started falling in love with the game from there. Great game if you like survive. If you like getting hacked to death repeatedly without getting to move an inch. Spawn kills galore, and this is right up your alley. No, but just the whole, you're just kind of thrown on this island. There's not really a storyline. It's just a big sandbox game with survival sandbox with dinosaurs. For some reason, it just works. The taming system's a little bit tough, you know what I mean? But I think that kind of adds to the game. To have a cool dinosaur. Obviously, the game is more geared. You can play single player, but it is obviously more geared to be playing with buddies, like a clan or a big crew of some sort. But I play by myself. Obviously, no one I know has the game. It's fun though. It's fun the game to play, and it's just good big base building. And I've kind of switched up my strategy this time with kind of using my base as kind of like a tank base, but also to build these catching chambers. So you can build like a chamber where the dinosaur's going to run into, and then you can kind of stun him from there. And then he's also protected while inside there too. So since I've just restarted, getting the resources to be able to build these big monstrosities is kind of tough right now, but super fun game. I've got a Triceratops and some kind of turtle dinosaur, so I got two cool dinosaurs in it, and they help you collect resources quicker and shit like that. So it's real fun that way. And the only shitty thing is how the game is kind of older now. And so these people have these massive bases and tons of dinosaurs in their base, and like as soon as you start walking towards their base, your game just starts like chugging down because there's like so many. There's like a dinosaur with like a space suit on and shit like that. You know what I mean? So and there's like 10 of them, and then there's like 20 of another type, and then like 50 of another type. So it's just these bases they have are just gigantic. It's kind of crazy. These bases these people build, it's kind of nutty. Check it out if you're on the fence, though. Like, if you maybe played Conan and got super pissed off because I heard it's kind of similar to that. This game's a lot different. The makers of this game came up with another game that was a super big flop that was a lot like Conan, oddly enough. But check it out if you haven't, if you're on the fence about getting Ark. It's cheap right now, and if you have Game Pass, you can get it for Game Pass for free. Fun game, little game. But it kind of brings me into my take this week with the announcement of the new systems coming out. You know what I mean? I hope it's not this Christmas. That would suck. If they gotta skip a Christmas here, I can't afford to goddamn buy a new system right now. Come on. When they come out, I do not know. Like I said, I hope it's not this Christmas, but the next Christmas. Do that. Xbox and PS4 are still good systems. Let's not do this yet here, people. What is the best system right now? You know what I mean? Most pound for pound, most bang for your buck. What is the best system for gaming? Obviously, you know what I mean? I think it's got to be, going down the list. I think, everyone's going to be shouting at their TVs right now that it would obviously have to be PC. You know what I'm saying, Kelly? What are you doing? PC Master Race. I don't play on the PC, but still, it's the most expensive by far.
Yeah.
And you got to update it all the time or else you're going to step behind. You know what I mean? So is that, having the most expensive is kind of a knock. I'm saying pound for pound best system that's out there. You know what I mean? Sure, you can have any game you want, even make games if you have the right program to do it. But is it number one? I think I've always been an Xbox guys, and I just kind of was wondering why, though. Why Xbox, really? How much different is it from the other systems? You know what I'm saying? I think it's got the Microsoft backing. I think that's what makes it its universality. If that's a word, like a word I could use to be, just how it interacts with all different types of media. You know what I mean? I think that's what having Microsoft in your corner helps out with that. And I think it's mostly the library of console exclusive classics that Xbox has. Obviously, with the Halo series, will always carry it. Will always have it on its back. You know what I mean? I think the Halo series will be huge. It's definitely their Mario or Sonic, if you will. PlayStation still a really, really good system. You know what I mean? I think what they had done better than Xbox recently was how they upgraded their online play. I think where Xbox had maybe taken a step back, where we had troubles, linking up with people, or they make the accessibility that they use has just been upped. I think PlayStation, they take the nod with that one, but still they don't really have the, you have PlayStation, right?
I have a PlayStation 3.
Oh, okay. I thought you had PlayStation 4, but still.
I had one, but it broke. It broke a while ago, though.
Piece of shit.
Yeah,
I'm just joking.
It's like on all the time.
I gotcha.
Because we use it like as a media player
right.
as well.
Yeah. That's what was nice about it is the YouTube on PlayStation is better than the YouTube on Xbox One. It's much quicker.
Yeah.
But Nintendo, you know what I mean? The Switch and the 3DS, all the different pieces of media they have, you know what I mean? And really doing totally their own thing. Maybe just because I have both a Switch and a 3DS, I absolutely love them. And the way that they have it, like, I don't know how, but my 3DS has internet when I'm walking around. I have not signed up to anything. I got free internet on the 3DS. I don't know how it works. Yeah, exactly. I have no clue how it works. It's like it steals the internet, like it steals Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? That's how they're all built. They're on like a different communication length, wavelength. And because I have hotspots. So the one time I left it on, right? It says because I get off when I get off on the train, close it, but I didn't turn it off. I just closed it, so it went to sleep mode. But when it's in sleep mode, I go past like points and that type of thing. And for like there's different certain little centers too, like people are supposed to meet up with their 3DS. It's kind of weird. I don't know what the hell is going on. Some secret society I've just been a part of, and I'm going to be assassinated for letting out the secret.
Free Wi-Fi on your 3DS.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can't do anything with it, right? You can just play games. That's all it's for. It's like to access the shop and play games.
I see.
You know what I mean? You can't like go like I don't think you can go like on YouTube or anything like that. But still it's kind of weird. And they also pay you. You get like Nintendo bucks, like they're worth a penny each, right? But they've mounted you walk while it's in sleep mode. They pay you. I have like 28 cents right now,
Wow.
just from walking.
You're rich.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how weird is that too? You know what I mean? Nintendo is fucking really, really cool. The different shit they do, and just how the portable the Switch is. There's no way I'm taking my Switch on public transit. That's just asking for trouble. I'm a little smarter than that. My 3DS wasn't cheap either, though. But still, what system, Kelly? What do you got to say out of those 4 systems, pound for pound? Your favorite? Like, you could have one right now, loaded with all the games, everything you wanted with it. What's the number one system that you're gonna pick out of those 4?
Talking about the consoles. Man, PC would be so good with Steam with every game. That'd be crazy. I'm gonna go with Xbox One X.
Ooh.
Yeah, just because like all my friends play on Xbox as well. So it's to me, it's more like gaming with friends and stuff like that.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's the funnest part. I think that they do the new system. I think they need to upgrade it a little bit because they didn't upgrade it at all from the 360. You know what I mean? So I think they got to upgrade that a little bit. But I'm gonna go PC. Xbox. I still get the Xbox just because when the PC is outdated in 6 months, I'll go back to playing Halo. Nintendo's super cool though too. That's the thing about Nintendo. I think Nintendo did what they needed to do and just kind of be that system, the portable system that everyone loves, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Wouldn't trade it for the world.
You hear about Google's new like gaming platform that they're putting out?
No, I haven't heard of this. Tell me.
I don't even know what it is. Like Stadia, something like that. Anyways, so what it is they're gonna have all the servers from Google, with the YouTube server stuff like that. They're gonna use their processing power to stream the games to either your phone, your computer, your tablet, whatever you want. You can buy their controller, or you can use any controller you currently have, like an Xbox controller, PS4 controller, and you could use that to actually play the games with. So you're going to be able to basically stream like a 4K game.
Crazy.
Yeah. Say Apex Legends, just for the sake of a game. You're going to be able to stream it to your phone with just using a controller. And it's going to be to process on your phone, like, like super, like, I don't know, man, like no lag basically to your phone.
How they do that though?
Console. Well, they're just going to basically, like, how you can watch a YouTube video in 4K? It's going to be the same thing. They're just streaming it from the server, like, and you're pushing the buttons and it's processing on the server and it's streaming it straight to your device, whatever device it is.
Wow.
So they're going to be able to take all these people who don't have a console, can't afford a console, and be able to stream 4K games straight to their whatever they have. Like even a smart TV would be able to use it. You just hook up a Bluetooth controller to the smart TV, and there you go. You got a high-end console.
Wow.
The only thing is, they didn't say anything about subscriptions. They didn't say if you had to buy each game. Or if you pay a monthly subscription, this is like an open library. It may be both. You may be paying like a subscription like Xbox Live or PS Plus, and on top of that, buying the games. I can
guarantee,
yeah. So that pricing is just not out there yet. But if it works, man, it could be a game changer.
Big time, man. That's insanity. That's like super future shit, man. That's crazy.
It's basically you're gonna go out and buy this new, $1,000 console that's coming out from whatever company it may be, Nintendo, Xbox, Sony, or even a computer, like a high-end computer. You got to replace the graphics card and all that stuff. Or you could just go and sign up with this and stream it to whatever.
That's nuts. How crazy is that? This is going to totally change the phone market now again. Now we're gonna see these mega smartphones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
we
to be
already
able to.
see Sony like with those foldable phones, so you have like the bigger screen already. Oh, not
Still.
Sony, Samsung. Sorry.
Well, even then, if you could stream it through your phone, and then you could obviously, if your TV smart enough, you could just stream it on the TV. But you could always stream it on your phone and then put it on your TV too.
That's true, and
Yeah.
then you could maybe use your phone as a controller, even though it kind of suck for most
Yeah,
games.
yeah. Touchpads. That's what I've noticed. Touchpads aren't very good for playing in a lot of games because you can't like do this whole like holding and sliding button. You know what I mean? Not very good for that, but still, I guess it is a game changer. Didn't hear that. You're hearing breaking news here, folks. Crazy video game phones coming to a CBS near you.
Speaking of Apex Legends, the new season's out.
Nice.
And they have like the whole battle pass thing, kind of like they had in Fortnite. But it's like, man, it's not. I don't even know if it's worth it. You know, you get like a couple of character skins, but most of it's just like completely useless, like badges that you're never gonna use, and
Lame.
and like
Yeah.
these like skins that are ugly as fuck. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it to you. If you're a collector, like you just want to collect everything, then maybe it is. I got it. I just like collecting all the skins and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too,
of course. I think there's really, there's really no other, there's stats, but there's
Yeah.
really no other goal towards the game other than collecting the rare stickers and shit like that,
Yeah,
right?
so if you don't have the battle pass, you can just play regular, and you still get points anyways, even if you don't have battle pass to unlock new legends and stuff like that. And they came out with a new legend. I forget his name, but he like injects himself
Yeah.
with like some sort of like medication or drug or whatever, and he runs super fast, and he can keep injecting himself with it. And running, like I think there's like a 2-second cooldown. So
Crazy.
you can keep running super fast. The only problem is every time you do it, you lose a little life. But
Oh, wow.
with that legend, he actually regens life too. So he's almost like his own lifeline. So that in that case, it's like super sweet, especially if you're in a firefight and
Yeah.
you're like almost dead and your teammates drop. You can kind of hide for a little bit, regen your life.
Yeah.
And then run around, grab the tags, and kind of boot out of there because you're running super fast too after regaining your life. So he's pretty cool like that, and plus he has like this jump pad. That's like his super ability, I guess. But the thing with the jump pad, like anybody can use it. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to use it to get away from somebody,
They'll just jump right behind
yeah,
you.
or if you're like even if you're using it to go at somebody too, like it's I don't know, it's kind of useless.
Does
I
it
don't
like disintegrate after a while?
No, it just stays there.
Oh
like, the
wow,
entire game,
that kind of
basically.
sucks.
Yeah,
I was like, I just gave everyone else that advantage too.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Huh.
yeah, I don't know about that part, but he's pretty cool.
Nice. That's hilarious.
I wish I could remember his name, but I can't. Yeah,
That's
Apex
hilarious.
Legends. I'm like level 63 now.
Wow. Holy moly. Yeah, it's like we were saying before. I'm just I'm just not that good at the game. You know what I mean? That's my biggest problem. I like playing it. And it's actually fun.
Yeah.
But I'm just terrible at it.
I have fun even when I die right away.
Yeah. I think that's what you were talking about earlier. I mean, if you start off, because like sometimes the game is a bit of a wait. You know what I mean? But if you just start off in the firefight, no, you're gonna get in the mood of the firefight. You'll also, can come out with some pretty good gear. You know what I mean? So then you're prepared for the next fight. You know what I mean? You're not like popping in and getting a bunch of gear and not even seeing another person. All of a sudden you're in a firefight and you die because you're not prepared, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's usually the guys with the best gear that jump you after you've been like walking around.
Exactly.
With gear for
Exactly.
Like 5 minutes, right?
They just downtown you, exactly, and then that's it. But no, that's the way the game goes. I think that's what's kind of. I think that's why people are attracted to, because the strategy that's actually involved in it.
Yeah.
And they got a bunch of big name gamers are playing it right now, and that helps. I think they paid that Ninja guy like a ton of money.
They
so
did, yeah.
so and smartly so, because I think didn't they make like something like 60 million already or something like that. It's ridiculous how much money they made off this free game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I mean? It's a free game.
I've seen people that like paid for every single skin and everything.
Wow,
Man, you must
that's
be dropping
psychotic.
thousands, yeah.
That's psychotic. Then what are you playing for? You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Some people, that's the thing, the pay to win or just the pay to play kind of type people, they drop dollars. Can't, because if you release one game, they're not going to buy the same game over and over again. You know, they'll buy the content, the extra content, which I find annoying, but still. Chatting up more video games in the future. Hope you guys like last show. It was a lot of fun doing the show, the same old go around. We're going to switch it up. The fucking organic evolution of a new podcast. Stephen and Kelly and new podcast. We're just gonna roll with the punches as always, man. I'd love to do another show like that again in the future. Calling it, maybe we'll do a wrestling one. Definitely not WrestleMania. That's fucking like super long. It's supposed to be like 6 hours. That's ridiculous. Bada boom. Check us out on Twitter at A New Podcast. I think we'll change it up to the Stephen and Kelly A New Podcast on Twitter. That'll stand out a little bit more too. We'll figure it out. Figure it out as we go. Let's talk some MMA. Lots of action this week with ONE FC, Bellator, and obviously the UFC that went down last night. The UFC was actually pretty good. It would have been a much better one to call with all the knockouts. It would have been a lot better. Let's talk a little bit of Bellator. Bellator 219. Saad Awad versus Brandon Gertz. I wasn't really sure who this Gertz guy was, but I didn't catch the fight. Joe Schilling wins. Big win for him to get back in the winning column. Koreshkov was on it too. He beat Mike Jasper. I know there was a lot of last second replacements on this one. The main fight though, I think on this one should have been Daniel Strauss. When his return to 145, he wins by rear naked choke against Shane Kutchnin. Good for Daniel Strauss to get back in the win. He was a long-time Bellator champ at 145. He's a really tough dude. I like Daniel Strauss. The main event was Brandon Gertz. So let's take a look here against Saad Awad. I think this is like the first round of that 170 tournament. So we'll see here. Let's see who he's even fought. Oh, he fought at 155. Oh, maybe this was at 155, huh? Beats Michael Chandler, lost to Michael Chandler. Beat Luka Jelkic. I had a 3-fight losing streak there. Derek Campos, Fernando Gonzalez, and Adam Piccolotti. All by decision, too. That's why I don't really know who the hell this dude is. He fought in Bellator for quite some time, too. Holy shit. Been fighting in Bellator since 2012. Brandon Gertz, no nickname. Gotta come up with a nickname there, Brandon Gertz. If you want to make it anywhere in this industry. He takes a decision against Saad Awad.
Brandon the Conor McGregor Gertz.
What would you call it? What a terrible nickname, Kelly. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, man.
Everybody should change.
The Conor McGregor.
Holly, the Conor McGregor Holmes.
Holly, the American Conor McGregor Holmes.
That's even better. I like it.
It's terrible.
I like it. It made me laugh.
Oh, shit. I know.
It would make me laugh. It's good.
People would be really questioning that one.
Nah. One guy that I think he's in Bellator, but he's like a Conor McGregor clone. He should make his name the Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you got. I can't remember what the heck his name is. Liam. No, not that guy. He's something. Can't remember the heck his name.
I don't think it matters.
No. I think he's 135. That's why.
Yeah. I don't think he's relevant.
No, definitely not. Move over to ONE FC, putting on a show. The new era ONE Championship. Shinya Aoki taking on Edward Folayang. And it was actually in Japan. good for ONE FC to move over there, and especially a smart move to have Shinya Aoki on the card. Because you have him on it, it's going to be selling out instantly in Japan. I can guarantee that. Other than that, it was the debut. I think obviously the biggest news is the Eddie Alvarez and Mighty Mouse debut as well. Kind of weird how they placed the cards like they were on first or something. Weird stacking. I'm not sure if this is the official card, but Eddie Alvarez. Did you manage to catch the fight, Kelly?
No, I know what happened.
Yeah, he got knocked the fuck out. He turtled up too. He totally turtled up. Like I guess his face was actually broken or something.
Yeah, I seen the highlight.
Yeah, Eddie Alvarez goes down TKO against a total nobody. Timofey Nastakuyam. I don't even know how the hell you're going to pronounce that guy's name.
What's his record like?
Let's take a look. Let's break it down. He's always Russian, too. Yeah, I think I checked this guy out before. He's actually Russian.
No, not bad.
Yeah. No, not bad at all. Was he? He's 13-4.
Huh.
He had lost his fight before. They got KO'd in his fight before that. But he's actually fought in ONE FC. That's what I was noticing before. He's actually got a ton of ONE FC fights. Like, he's been fighting in ONE FC since basically the beginning, since 2014. That's pretty crazy. Obviously he's fighting guys over there, but still.
Usually Eddie's pretty built for his division, and I noticed this guy was just as built.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with that, Kelly. Exactly. He's usually shredded in all his fights, like super abs. You know what I mean? But it didn't help him out in this one. But Eddie Alvarez, I've never really been a big fan of Eddie Alvarez, to tell you the truth, and especially losing the belt to Conor, that upset me the most. Beating Rafael Dos Santos, you know what I mean? Even though it did come out later on that Dos Santos was super sick. That's why he got his ass kicked so bad. The weight cut totally fucked him, but still, Eddie Alvarez. I think did he lose to Gaethje too, or did he beat Gaethje? Let's take a look here. One of those. He's a tough dude, but I've just never really been a big fan. Even back in his Bodog days, because he was their champ.
Yeah.
Never been a huge fan of him.
I like his fighting style.
Yeah, he's not a bad fighter. Let's see here. Yeah, he only lost it. He got TKO'd by Dustin Poirier too. So it's his second knockout now in a row. He beat Justin Gaethje. He beat Gaethje. Yeah, that was actually a really good fight. Obviously lost to Conor McGregor. I was a no decision against Poirier too. But he beat Dos Anjos, beats Pettis. He beat Gilbert Melendez, is one of my favorite fighters too. But he lost to Donald Cerrone. That was his debut. Yeah, that was his debut, was against Donald Cerrone. But that was his first fight against Nick the Goat Thompson. Really weird dude. A good fighter though too. But I just remember that was when Bodog was first around. Actually, they've had some pretty decent events. Actually, they always have those fights on a boat and shit like that. They had some weird ass fights. But I liked Bodog. It wasn't bad at all. Still, he goes down. Mighty Mouse wins by guillotine. In his first showing, he moves. I think they're all in tournaments. They're having all these huge tournaments now over in ONE FC, I'm thinking here. But Eddie Alvarez takes a huge loss in the stock market with that one. Another dude, Bibiano Fernandez, he wins. It was by DQ. Yeah, I remember that was by DQ. Illegal elbows. Bibiano Fernandez, he actually trained in Langley, not too for the in the MMA gym. I think it was Revolution. Yeah, it was called Revolution. It was actually a pretty good gym for a long time, but I don't know what happened. MMA kind of just died in the lower mainland. And then Shinya Aoki gets the arm triangle choke and wins in Japan. Wins the 155-pound belt. Good event going on over at ONE FC. I wish I could have saw that one, but I did not watch it, unfortunately. That brings us to the UFC. UFC on ESPN2, Barbosa versus Gaethje. Really, really good card. The whole thing was actually really well put together. Where was this one again here? It was in Philly. Home of the worst fans of all time. Ever. I'm talking like Roman times. All right, let's break it down here.
This is a great card, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, Desmond Green versus Ross Pearson. There was a lot of underdogs, and I'm glad I didn't bet because all the underdogs lost, too. So I'm glad on that part. What was it? Oh, Ray Borg lost his fight. That was actually one, too, where I thought Ray Borg was actually a big favorite to bet on the other dude. Actually, for that one, because the other Casey Kenny was actually a pretty tough guy. That's one dog that won it, but Desmond Green really beat the shit out of Ross Pearson, and I thought so. I think we're going to see his retirement bout, maybe in the next British card or something. Ross Pearson's just fought too far, too many times for too long. I think it's time to wrap it up for him. Let's see here. A lot of Nigerian dudes on this card as well. Tough dudes. Paul Craig had a crazy submission turnaround. He was getting the shit kicked out of him in that fight, and he got a crazy triangle choke. That was actually really good. Kind of just caught the Kennedy guy sleeping and pulled in for a triangle. That was a really cool one. Did you see that one, Kelly?
Which one was
Paul Craig?
Yeah, I see him. Yeah. Sorry.
I think he's...
Yeah, he flipped him over right after
that. Yeah, it was really good. The Karate Hottie gets back in the winning circle again, and then even calling out for the title after beating Carolina Kwasniak. That was actually a really good fight. Really, really good fight, too, between those two girls. And Karate Hottie just had too much.
It's just consistent with the kicks. The whole fight, just kick. Even if she wasn't landing them, she was still sticking her foot in her face.
Yeah.
And I think it just made her uncomfortable. She couldn't come in. And yeah, I remember at one point she was kicked her in the leg hard 3 times in a row.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
She had no answer for it.
No, that just gets it done.
Takedowns after that. That was a good fight.
Nice, gets it done. Michelle Waterson. Josh Emmett versus Michael Johnson. That was crazy. I did not see that. That was a crazy story about Josh Emmett too. How when he got knocked out by Poirier, just how much it messed him up. You know what I mean? He was out because he was out for a year, basically after that knockout, and he still has no feeling in his gums on the left side of his face. His gums have no feeling. He says it's no big deal, but still, it's kind of weird. Yeah, when was it? It was February 24th, 2018. So just over a year, he had to kind of sit out because it was against Jeremy Stevens, Little Heathens, and it only made $45,000 for that fight. So that's what he was kind of talking about. I only made $45,000, and I got knocked out really badly. Where it really affected me. You know what I mean? And now I have to fight again, really, because I only made $45,000 last year, and I'm really really not making anything now. And so hopefully he got paid. Just kind of, and Josh Emmett, I think, is a top 10 145er, you know what I mean? And here the guy can barely make ends meet, you know what I mean, in a $1 billion organization. It's kind of the shitty thing about the sport sometimes. And it was really because, you know what I mean, and he couldn't fight because he's like a contract fighter, basically. And he's got no back, he's got no salary, no backup plan, right? You know what I mean? Because that's what he does. He fights. It's a crazy story, but he actually gets in the winning circle. Crazy KO of his own against Michael the Menace Johnson. Were you gonna say something, Kelly?
No.
Good. It was actually a good fight though too. Those guys were going toe to toe. I thought Emmett really, he was landing some of the better blows. Michael Johnson's a very, very tough in game dude. He's not a guy who can really get you in different ways. I thought he'd work his ground game a bit more in that fight, but he wanted to stand and trade with Emmett, and he paid for it, unfortunately. Next one, Jack Hermansson versus David Branch. I thought this was actually a really good pairing, and I was quite surprised by how quick it actually ended. Hermansson just landing that really was kind of like that Peruvian necktie kind of guillotine. They called it a guillotine, but I think that was actually a Peruvian necktie, where he maybe didn't have the hands in the right place, but it was still, either way, he was not getting out of that choke, and he had it in super, super deep. I think David Branch just kind of panicked a little bit and didn't really know what to do at first, and the next thing you know is he's really running out of oxygen. But he skyrockets over in 185 on that. Let's take a look. I don't even know who the hell this dude is. Jack Hermansson. He's on a tear from fighting out of Sweden. I think he's like Sweden or Norwegian Sweden. So I'm sure there's a lot of that going on over there. Jack the Joker. He's got a good nickname because he actually kind of does look like the Joker. He's a little creepy looking. But that's his third win in a row. He got knocked out by Thiago Santos at 185. That's crazy. He's actually got a pretty darn good record. A lot of the, obviously, fighting in the European cards. And a good amount actually in stateside, too. But 3 wins in a row, 185. This guy's got to start turning heads here. That's a huge win, especially David Branch. Even is, having Tallies Laties, too. And he's got some good wins. Can't wait to see more of this dude. Brings us to the main event of the evening. Whew. What did you catch it, Kelly? Did you catch it? Yeah. The one thing I want to say about this card is I'm not a fan of the early cards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really, this is a 4 p.m. card. If I can say one thing, I was not pleased with that. I can tell you that much. And I think what they're doing is they're gonna fuck over the West Coast fans, which is what has made this sport alone, not the UFC, not Strikeforce, not all those guys there successful, has been California and the West Coast. I think in BC, the province of BC, I think we love MMA too. But I think what they're doing is pleasing the East Coast is a terrible idea. They tried to do this before in the past, and especially doing the timing of it is even worse. Because people here, it's a weird thing, but people here, especially come in the summertime, people are more outdoorsy. You know what I mean? There's a more good chance that people are going to go out with their families during the day, and then at night they want to come home and have a few beers and watch an event. Not during the day. You know what I mean? Definitely not during the day. And I think this could be a mistake. And if they're using it to please the people on the East Coast, it's failed miserably before in the past. They tried to do that a few years ago. I think it was about like 6 or 7 years ago. You remember that, Kelly, when they had their early UFCs? And people hated it. They were having the 5 p.m. start for a UFC, and people hated it. They quickly changed it back because no one from the West Coast. This is where MMA lives, on the West Coast, the best coast. And it's true, California especially, the population's there, the diehard fans, and they always have good events there. The events show off very well, and that's where the people are tuning in for the pay-per-views. I love the card either way, though. That's coming from me. A huge MMA fan, that I'll watch it all the time, but that was a bit annoying for me, too. I think that they've pissed off me now in my viewing schedule. Oh, boy. Oh shit! What did you think about it though, Kelly? What did you think about the main event?
It was crazy. I expected a knockout.
Me too.
But yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was a good fight.
The eye poke. What do you think about the eye poke though? You know what I mean? Do you think it was like a thumb? They didn't really show it. We rewound it and caught and then got the thumb. It was a nasty thumb poke where his eye was like actually bleeding. So that was like a nasty, nasty thumb poke. But do you think that obviously helped the fight go in the favor of Gaethje?
It's hard to say. Like, I don't know, man. Like, even if you punch with a closed fist, sometimes the thumb can go in the eye. Just because you're not gonna tuck your thumb in there, you can break it, right?
Exactly.
So it's hard to say, like, with the glancing punches and stuff like that. It's just part of the sport, I think, and I don't know how much it affected him. Hard to say. Really hard to say.
That would be the $1 million product right now. Don't steal it, anybody. This is our secret. We like a glove to come up with like a new MMA glove that stops from eye pokes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Is it possible even? You know, it's got to be. You know what I mean? Still, eye pokes is starting to turn into a real big thing here. But still, did it affect the outcome? Maybe it didn't. Maybe it did. Either way, Gaethje, he was landing, I think, the better strikes before that. He was really pushing the pace actually with the leg kicks. And I thought that was the craziest, where Gaethje just came in, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick. You know, he came in pushing the pace with the leg kicks, and I thought it was actually threw Barbosa off. I think he kind of had to see it coming, but maybe that's like most people who fight Gaethje, he wasn't prepared for the power that was behind those leg kicks, and I think that kind of set off his rhythm as well. And my hat goes off to Gaethje. I think he actually employed a really good game plan, his same game plan of just be in your face and try to beat you up. Real simple game plan, but he's dude who got it done last night. And what a knockout he got. Edson Barbosa was looking up at the stars with one eye looking up and one eye looking down after that knockout. He got knocked the fuck out. Huge win for Gaethje. One stat that I thought was really cool for Barbosa was that he's the only UFC fighter to have a KO by head kick, body kick, and leg kick KO. Like, what a cool stat. And that's what I was upset by this matchup, because if one dude was going to get their rise derailed a little bit, and I think they both, once again, we should have seen two guys take on two other top 5 fighters in the division rather than going up against each other, because because Barbosa really tumbles down, I think, far on the list with that loss, and especially for such a good fighter. He's like a kind of a gatekeeper. I'll call him a gatekeeper, and I think he could be proud to be called a gatekeeper in such a very strong division, in the best show on earth when it comes to MMA, in the UFC. And I think he actually gets paid pretty well. He's one of those dudes, I think we'll see him again at a Brazilian card. Always love Edson Barbosa. Obviously his flashy kicks, and he's really a true mixed martial artist. And I've always enjoyed watching his fights. I can't wait to see him fight again. This is the shitty thing about the sports. If you lose, people just turn their back on you, and I think that's such a shitty thing to do. Especially for these guys who put everything into this sport, and sometimes you come up short. Like I said, that night he caught something and got a thumb in the eye, and it wasn't his night. And Gaethje moves on.
How long do you think his suspension is for getting knocked out? It has to be at least 6 months, right?
Yeah. That was an eye-open knock. Eye-open knockouts aren't good ones. You know what I mean? Those aren't good knockouts. I think it's definitely got to be. It's got to be I think they're gonna do. Yeah, I think it could actually be Kelly. I'm just trying to think maybe the 180 days, the 3-month, or it's tough to say. I think the 180 days, but he'll probably still have to pass a test after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But definitely, he got up at least. He was up at least after the match, but still, how obviously his bell was mega rung. Good weekend of sports. I'm really excited to hear about how that Pentagon Jr. versus Cain Velasquez turn comes down. Can't wait. It's WrestleMania season's right around the corner.
Cain the Mummy Velasquez versus Pentagon Jr.
The Mummy, that is awesome. Oh shit! There was a guy like a long time ago, and WCW had like the worst ideas for guys, and there was a guy that was dressed up like a mummy.
Yeah.
But he actually was called the Yeti for some stupid reason. But he was like totally like a mummy. It was like the worst. It was like it doesn't even make sense at all. That's what I'm saying. But it was like the worst. But he still like acted like a mummy too. Like to have like that deep of a gimmick when you're a wrestler, it's destined to fail. That's why the Undertaker's so revered, because how he turned his gimmick into actually something into like one of the best gimmicks of all time. You know what I mean? But it's very, very tough and very rare. But yeah, crazy shit going down. Anything you want to talk about, Kelly? Anything you got on your mind? You want to get off your chest, buddy? We talk some Apex.
I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm all Apexed out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to hit me up on Twitter about video games if you're out there and listen to this thing. Hit me up on Twitter. What video game do you think I should play next? Give me some suggestions. Give me some suggestions for Xbox or the Switch.
Or if you want to play with us and you want a gaming tag or whatever on Xbox, just send us a message on Twitter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Good call, Kelly. Yeah. Yeah, good call. Especially Kelly out here. If you want to win some games, hit up Kelly. That's for damn sure. Won a game with my sorry ass. Carried my sorry ass. 0 kills. And we won.
You're a good diversion. Sometimes you need that on your team.
That's the reason I like I like Gibraltar for that, but that dome is just so visible. You know,
Yeah.
as soon as you throw that dome down, everyone comes towards you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
and then that's when we flank the sides coming
Yeah.
from the back. They kill you, we kill them.
Exactly. Well, the shittiest thing is that you can't even really see through it too. It's not very good, but it does help you from long distance. Like if you're already in the firefight and you throw it down, obviously it's going to help you out. But
Done before I threw it down, and I stood behind it, not in it, and I had
Yeah.
like what is it called? Crap, the hemlock with a nice
yeah.
scope on it. I think it was like a 3x scope or whatever. But I hid behind it and I had it on single fire, and I just kept like shooting. And I got like so many shots off. I think I knocked like 2 guys before
wow,
I even had the thing go off on me, and then I just ran up. We killed the 3rd guy, and that was it.
crazy.
So I just used it, but like in a different way. I didn't use
Yeah.
it as protection.
Yeah.
I used it as a cover.
Exactly. Yeah. Huh. That is a good idea. Yeah, that's a better idea than
Yep.
standing in the middle of it. Huh. Yeah.
And then the other time, what I did when I knocked a few people is they were rushing us. I threw it down, and then I threw my like the missile thing,
Yeah.
whatever, like right outside, like right in front of the dome, and we all stood in the dome. And it just started raining down, and I just started showing that I knocked this guy and knocked that
Crazy. Wow, that's a
Yeah.
good strategy. Yeah, that's a really good strategy too. Yeah.
guy. There's not like a lot of times you can do that though. It's like certain moments, and it's if like you know
Right.
what's happening.
Of
right?
course. Of
If they
course.
just jump you, there's no way.
Yeah. Exactly. Because that's the only thing knock I can have on it too is they gotta make him throw it down faster.
Yeah.
To throw it down, you could already be killed by the time he's throwing the
And I
fucking thing
have,
down.
yeah,
Exactly.
many times.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's the biggest kick in the nuts about it. Exactly. Because that's what you want to do. That's your only fucking thing is to throw down this dumbass shield.
Yeah.
And
For every like great moment, there's like 10 like fuck you didn't do it fast enough. Then you're dead.
exactly. Well, fun game. Fun game. Astroneer is one I want to try out. I want to try it out. It looks really a lot of fun. It's one of those cross-platform games too, which we're seeing some more of as well. They're gonna start creeping in there as well. Like you can play on anything.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, it's like usually it's like Xbox and PC, or it'll be like Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation, or like PlayStation and PC. You know, so it's still like console exclusives, but
They're all gonna band together and take on Google.
yeah, exactly. To fight the Google.
We must kill the Google.
Maybe that's why they're announcing. I could see why if Google's coming out with that. That's probably why Xbox and PlayStation are like, oh shit, we gotta announce our new system now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But you
Damn
gotta
it.
pay for it.
Exactly. Damn it.
But the crazy thing is, Xbox kind of wanted to do something very similar back in the day, and everyone was like up in arms against it, where they wanted to have just like a platform where you had to like pay online and like I forget exactly what it was, but you couldn't share games. Like everybody had to buy a digital copy, and everyone's like, "No, I like game sharing. I want a tangible disc."
Right.
But what they
I
wanted
remember
to
that.
do
Yeah.
was actually like start streaming and stuff like that, content to everybody. But everybody didn't want that. They wanted the game sharing, so they didn't go that route. But now Google's going that route.
Wow. Google's just saying, fuck it. This
Yeah.
is what... Huh. Wow. Stolen idea. That's crazy. They didn't really just use an idea that was still out there, and when they have the backing of being Google. Huh. Wow.
Yeah, it was like we'll take it and we'll do it better.
And take over
We
the
won't even
world.
need a console.
I'm still... Well, you need like a... Can you use any controller, or does it have to be their controller? Is that the only
you can
thing?
use like an Xbox, PlayStation, anything like Bluetooth, or they'd have like their own controller as well. That
Right.
they're putting out.
Right.
I think the Xbox One is probably going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
Than the one they put out. It looks better at least.
Huh. That's nuts. That is nuts.
And you just need anything that can stream content. So like any smart TV, any laptop, any tablet, any phone.
Yeah, you know, it just makes sense of why no one has done it before. Exactly, like, you know, I mean, movies, everything is moving to this streaming type service. You know what I mean? And the beneficiaries are the cell phone companies, obviously. You know what I mean?
That's a good example. You don't need like a DVD player or anything
Uh-huh.
to stream movies. Everybody just has like a little box, or like even your Xbox, you can just stream it off Netflix, right? No one has a like you don't have to collect the DVD
Yeah.
or a Blu-ray library anymore.
Exactly. That's what I noticed was with. I think that's what Nintendo has done. They said because the disc is obsolete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The disc is totally obsolete, and
As it
Nintendo just went exactly. Nintendo just went with kind of a little tiny little cartridge. Like the Switch cartridge is smaller than the 3DS cartridge. You know what I mean? And they're just these tiny little slivers of a disc. You know what I mean? So that's of not a disc, of like a cartridge. You know what I mean? So it's kind of still like campy. You know what I mean? Every Nintendo person wants to slide that cartridge in.
Yeah,
you know?
so you still have something to collect, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, you get the cartridge, but most of it is downloaded.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like that. But
Yeah, that makes total
the
sense.
the disc doesn't but it's like, you know, buying a disc even in this day and age is kind of, it's super turning into obsolete. And I think that's just what the next thing is. We'll be just going, everything will be wireless, obviously. You know what I mean? It's already happening.
Yeah.
But that's what's going to happen with video games, all types of media when it comes to video games, music. I think that's what it's always been that's kind of a cool thing. It's always been figured out through music and movies. You know what I mean? It's always been determined, you know what I mean, how we're going to store content, you know what I mean? We're going to store media, you know what I mean? Like store like something you watch or listen to or play. You know what I mean, with, you know, with like VHS and Betamax and remember the stupid Blu-rays and crap like that. And now we see, you know, we're not moving to any kind of physical form anymore, just the device that it's on. Technology, we're in the future, folks.
I like what Xbox did, and PlayStation's done it too, where they take the old content and they put it on the new consoles, so with like, you know, new game engines and stuff like that. They just kind of poured it over.
Yeah, everyone. I don't know anyone who says like, "Oh, that sucks." Like, no, everyone's loving that. It's Final Fantasy VII is on right now, and I know that's selling out huge right now. I'm actually gonna think I'm gonna go home and get it myself. Good game. Classic RPG.
One thing you'll always be able to do on these consoles is play offline. So, you know, like some people, they go camping.
That's true.
And actually bring a console with them for the night.
That's true. Especially you got like a motorhome or something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or a cabin.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
it's not really camping. It's more.
Nah, still. Good time. All right. I think we did good with no wrestling talk this week. I'll save it all for next week. Just wasn't in a wrestling mood. Just wanted to switch it up a little. Just an MMA show, news and bullshit like that. Well then, show number 28 in the books. More video game talk coming down the pipe too. That was good, Kelly. That was good. Video games are just really, really taking over. Show number 28 in the books. Well, sirree, folks. For producer extraordinaire Kelly, my name is Steven, and you've been listening to the New Podcast. Signing off.